So it's it's been a minute.
Yeah, we had to put a little time in between just to make the schedules work, but that's okay. I mean,
Well, I was in a rehabilitation facility.
Doing rehab.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Hey,
We were busy
congratulations.
with work, but
Yeah.
did you, is there a printed certificate or is it just something on your phone?
It's something on my phone, yeah.
Okay.
Hold
But
on
it's
a second.
got your name on it.
Hold on, 6 hours.
Okay.
You're clean for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Well, congrats,
Yeah.
guys. Is there coin for 6 hours?
No, I don't think so.
It's a Bitcoin.
I think it's
Bitcoin.
yeah, I think it's the new,
Not even the real one, just a little.
One of those arcade
It's a bit of a
Yeah.
coin.
Oh, bit of a coin.
from Dave and Buster's.
yeah.
The Dave and Buster's.
It's the new Trump Bitcoin. So excited. Because that's just going to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a good one. It's episode 4, which we determined, and now we're making the space look a little bit better.
Yep, improving that a little bit. We graduated to finally bringing in our first guest,
Yes.
which we were wanting to do, to just break up the monotony of the sausage party.
Just a bunch of dudes talking. So
Yeah.
and it's worked out well.
It has.
It's a good one.
And it was it sort of flowed naturally because we were able to have our sweet friend Jaclyn join us, who we had Jason and I just spent 4 days with at what
Bourbon
we've
and
now
Beyond.
found out, nation's largest music festival
very
that
cool.
we talk a little bit about. But yeah, having Jaclyn in was nice.
Yeah, and we won't spoil the surprise, but there's a very fun reveal in this episode.
Yeah.
of a-
It has to do with driving on the interstate.
Well, there's some of that too. Yeah, there's a fun interstate story that maybe if we have any trucker subscribers,
Exactly.
can let us know in the comments.
or any recent mothers.
Yeah, recent mothers
Exactly.
or truckers.
Yes.
It's a
yes.
very wide demographic. Also,
Wow, that's an odd demographic.
Yes.
which really speaks to our listeners.
Really does in our base. Yeah,
one
we
thing,
touched on
one
that.
thing we never have really pointed out is like where you can actually listen to this if you found us accidentally. We do have a website that this lives
so
on.
people are listening.
Well, I mean,
I thought few, I think.
How would you find it accidentally?
Thought this was just therapy.
don't know, but we have a website.
Oops, I found this.
We're on Spotify, we're on Amazon, we're on YouTube, so there's plenty of places you can watch this. So
Nice. Not Apple yet? No, nothing on Apple.
give me time, Matthew.
God, Jason.
Apple's very finicky.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's been a little
Jump through
challenging.
hoops.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, sooner or later, listener.
But we talked about Apple today. We talked about some
Yeah.
tech today. We
Little
talked
tech
about,
touched on.
Yeah, we talked about some tech. We talked about, what else we talked about? There was logo designs. We talked about how awesome the new PayPal logo looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true that.
Yes.
Rick, you didn't really jump in. Have you been working on an essay over there during the podcast?
He's working on his resume.
Yeah.
He's updating his LinkedIn profile.
You
I'm
seem like you're
designing
working
logos
on-
for bands over here. Now my camera's out of focus, and I don't want to be on TV.
Halfway through the podcast, I thought he's been awful quiet and not churned. Is he like doing that driver's ed thing? You get pulled over and you have to do online.
Yeah.
No, I have an order of magnitude of more buttons than I had the last time. So
We got to find a way to free you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free Rick Boo.
It's like too much of a gig over there.
T-shirt, free Rick Boo.
Free
Free
Rick.
Boo.
it is totally
It's not
turned
to
into a
let
gig.
Rick free. It's just we're giving away Rick for free.
Yeah.
Free
Exactly.
Rick Boo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, today only.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah,
So,
it was, and we'll try to get better about frequency. but,
we'll just try to get better in general.
Yeah.
That's just how it
Yeah.
goes.
That's a good umbrella. We're gonna try to get better.
Try.
In
We
the,
won't-
in the
we won't
meantime,
succeed.
apologies.
We'll never succeed.
Speak for yourself.
And that's what everybody's been saying. Hey, listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my first response.
Mine too. I don't know why that is, but also listen to this and we're sorry.
And if nothing
Yeah.
else, for me, I just tell my family, if nobody listens, this is sort of just like a collection. It's a collection, and it's on record of conversations with my friends
Yeah,
that's
it's like
exactly.
an archive.
that my kid can or my grandchildren could listen to one day and be like, "Oh my god,
We're related to this idiot.
no doubt." They're talking about Grinder.
Also, what is Grindr?
Exactly.
Because it's the future.
Exactly.
And we don't know if it still
Yeah.
exists. So.
I will say something funny. I know this is supposed to be the intro, but the other day I got a text from a random dude named Cody, and I thought for sure it was, it was like, "Whoa, Cody, you're in his room." Leave
I
me
already
alone."
know your backstory. And
Yeah,
this is a hard no. Whatever the question is, hard no.
Exactly.
Become self-aware.
Yeah. It's like, "Hi, Cody here." I'm like, no.
Too much. Too much.
All right, so take a listen to this one and enjoy it.
Yeah. Do it. it's been a minute, hadn't it?
Yeah, we're back in finally, and this is episode 4.
Quattro.
Oh, Quattro.
El Quattro.
For our international audience.
Yeah. For our international listeners, trying to keep it open.
Yeah, so here we are. The space is getting better and better each time we come in here. Once again, thanks to Rick Boone for
Boone in the Boone room.
giving a little bit of time this weekend to get some lights set up, moving things around.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Wearing those HDMIs.
Yeah.
HD. Rick puts the D in HDMI.
As long as it's just an HDMI, nothing
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so
Short and flat, just like the Kinect.
I don't want to
Oh,
know
boy.
what that even means, but
Are we sure we want to have a guest in here today?
yeah, so that's what today's kind of where we're going to go with all this stuff today. We have actual a guest we'll get to in a little bit, but we'll cover some other things first. And one of those things I read this morning. So a couple episodes ago, we talked about the Meta glasses that I've been wearing. So have you been like the Meta Connect? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
2024. Have you read anything about that?
No, I haven't.
No, what? Tell.
So they're supposed to be unveiling the new Meta Orions, which is the next version of these. But it's supposed to be a kind of a crossover of like the Oculus and sort of the Vision Pro, but a augmented reality in a more fitting form factor of glasses.
Yep. Everybody seems to be doing that.
Yeah.
So the form factor is still going to be similar to what you are currently wearing.
Right. It's the same approach with
Same
these
form
glasses.
factor.
Right. But integrating now a lens component so that it does have AR, augmented reality, in front of you now. So it's like the Vision Pro,
Interesting.
but as less obnoxious. So they're supposed to be unveiling it this week.
So I wonder what that requires physically. Is it a microfilm on the inside of the?
I don't know.
Of the
Yeah,
surface that.
I don't know what that is, but they're just like introducing it supposedly this week, but they won't actually produce until like 2027. So it's very, very early on.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Is like there's a piece of software that's for all the virtual headsets right now. It's called Immersed, and basically what it allows you to do, it allows you to have multi-monitors, all this thing. Anyway, this company has decided there's still not a product out there that we like. So they have made, they introduced it last week, and it's called the Visor. And it is super small. The form factor is super small. The weight is probably less than an iPhone. It doesn't have embedded audio because they're like, most people when they're in these experiences, they're already using their earbuds, things like that. So they're trying to really take things away to get the weight down.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And same thing though.
I've been trying to take things away from myself to get my weight
Exactly.
down.
To get your weight down.
Yeah. First stop, alcohol. Take that away.
Exactly. But you might want to check out Immersed and look at the Visor because they did release it last week, and my son and I we've signed
Yeah, I feel
up
like that
for
was
Kickstarter.
listed like in the this pantheon of all these companies that are working on this AR technology. That I feel like that was listed in there.
One of them.
Yeah, and this whole EMG component of it, the detection. So it's in order to get the gestures involved with the glasses, like there's actually a piece that you wear like a smartwatch that does all of the, because you've got now, if you have this AR, you're going to have an interface,
Right.
some kind of GUI.
Right.
So how do you interact? Is it your eyes, or what do you do if it's just verbal commands? So what they're looking at is it actually is a device you wear on your wrist, and it does EMG detection. So it's basically picking up the electrical signals that you'd be sending to your hand as a thought. So instead of, and it measures it. So if you're like wanting to swipe left, you're thinking about swiping left, and you can pick up on those impulses in your
That's
wrist.
dangerous. That's very dangerous.
Yeah, in so many ways.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's still not there yet.
No, but that's why they're saying
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
2027 is when they
yeah.
even potentially will release it. This is just a very crude version of it, but it's Zuckerberg, so who knows what fantasy he lives in. So.
But they obviously feel the need to go ahead and tease it out, even though it's a couple of years away from deployment.
I think they want to get
right?
ahead of, because it's there. I mean, Apple's into this, and everybody's into it.
Everybody's into it. They're trying to get ahead of everybody. Like I said, when you have software manufacturers now making these devices, it's just because the OLED displays are cheaper now. All this stuff is cheap. Everybody's sort of building it. Like you said, Meta, Visor. What was the other one? The other company, it was a weird one. I forget which one it was, but one out of China. They're building their own as well. But it's still, it's like, where's the content? That's the thing, is where's the
Or
content?
what is the content?
Exactly.
Like, what do you need to see? Like, I know, like, it's like, I can take a picture. I can do that now. It's like, well, I can read my emails. So it's a visual. Like, those things are happening audio wise in my ear with the metas. But now is just the next step, where it's now an interface that you see, so I can read the emails and I can respond to them and tell it.
So I'm curious, again, back to what's the reason then to make the announcement? Is that really just a tip of the hand to investors?
That's my
just
thinking.
because of, hey, look, whatever this landscape's looking like, know that we are preparing and ready to deploy.
It all comes down to money. So
that's got to be.
I think that's exactly where it is, because, like I said, Visor had a huge. I mean, I don't know how many people were on that stream last week watching this announcement.
Yeah.
And
I mean, almost as many as we have on watching this podcast.
It's close.
It's a tight race.
I will tell you.
Close.
I will tell you. On the trip, on this work trip last week, I had just a little bit of downtime.
Where'd you go, Jamie?
Yeah, where'd you go, Jamie?
Conroe, Texas.
Hey,
Conroe,
big up
shout
to
out
the
Conroe.
Houston area.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We were at a video convention at a church, and I'm going to tell you, it was exactly like the Righteous Gemstones. It was crazy. There was a dude there. I mean, it's like,
please tell me there was a baby Billy.
There was a lot of baby Billies, and this just.
Did you get caught shaving?
What's pretty crazy? What's pretty crazy is, like I said, we didn't rent a car, so and it was a real long day, and I looked down at my phone, and here we are at this church getting ready to get picked up, big video expo. I look down on my phone and it says, Jesus is in a black Suburban to come pick you up. That's my
Jesus.
Yeah. And the way I read it was like, okay, geez, and it's like, okay, that's sort of weird. And then of course he couldn't find us. He's getting lost in this parking lot, and I'm like, that's my life. Jesus can't even find me in a church parking lot.
Having trouble finding you.
I don't know if he can't or just doesn't want to find you.
Maybe a little of both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I will say I had the opportunity. I hadn't played with the Vision Pro in a while, and iOS.
Oh, did you take it with you?
iOS 2.0, or what is it? The new version came out, 2.0. And one of the things that it did is probably one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced is it'll go through all of your iPhotos, all your photos in your library, no matter how old they are. And you can go in and say, spatialize this.
Oh, really?
So
it gives it depth of field almost?
It is the craziest, most emotional thing I've ever seen, because I'm looking back at old pictures of my grandmother, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's able to add the depth of these things.
It's like to make it pop.
And you're just, it turns it into a 3D image. It's amazing with AI. Okay. And I'm sitting here just like going, this is the most amazing. It was just an emotional experience, to see old relatives.
And they advertise it that way.
Oh,
but
it's crazy.
It's interesting to hear it firsthand, because he's like, oh, sure, whatever.
No, it's pretty amazing. But
that's cool.
And that's the thing is, like, the small content that they're making on Apple TV Plus with the immersive content is really great. But it's like
baby steps,
a minute,
just 2
minutes long. It's like, come on,
but
man.
that's the benefit of setting up an entire environment around all your technology and incorporating it into all the things that you produce. So it becomes this all-inclusive and very cohesive environment. So that's pretty cool.
Let me ask you this: when you're looking at that AI generation of that sense of depth, is it like a flashback where it feels almost like the old viewfinder, the ViewMaster, where you're clicking through and seeing that?
No, it's just like seeing the side of somebody's face, and then all of a sudden, like, details in the face and the cheek will have depth.
Wow.
Right?
That's pretty.
Like if somebody's wearing glasses and it's a flat picture, it actually will take the glasses outside of that space so there you could see that. It turns
a sense of separation.
Wow. It is just like you're there.
Oh, that's
and it is like so weird. And I was just spending hours. Just like looking at old pictures of the kids when they were like small, like 5 or 6 years old, and it's just like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Well, good for them, because that's exactly what they said it was going to do. Like, you immerse yourself completely in that.
But half the time it's in the drawer. It's like,
which is just like your kids. Half the time I don't even pay attention to them anyway.
That's why it was so emotional.
$3,500 device.
Remember all these moments.
No. I don't think they were my kids.
They just came with the device.
Yeah.
It's the digital version of the phone, like, the picture that comes inside the frame at Walmart.
Exactly. It's like, oh.
It felt less guilty when your wife reminded you those aren't our kids. Oh, cool.
Well, and also in addition to the other thing I read this morning was, and you talk about Apple stuff, that they've working on getting approved to add the hearing aid component.
That's huge. That's huge.
That is big.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Real big.
Our audio guy here needs that.
No shit.
I'm seriously.
that's right. You didn't reply.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
But so it is. That's an interesting point, though, because as part of that announcement, what was it last week that Apple did? Yeah, I paid special attention to that, thinking, there's an industry that's ready to be cracked wide open, and here's devices that people are used to seeing as everyday objects, as opposed to introducing some new form factor. And now even people that have marginal hearing loss and the same intelligence that goes into their other products, you hope plays out into this one, that there's fine, micro tuning along the way depending on what your needs are.
There already is. This is just Apple's foray into it.
Yeah.
See, Apple's really smart when it comes to that because
They wait.
Well, not only that, I think ever since they came
Ever since Tim Apple came up with these ideas.
ever since they came out with the watch. Remember when they came out with the watch? It was supposed to be a style item. Remember the $18,000 watch that you can't even update now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they first came out?
Yeah.
And then they were like, wait a second, what if we started adding these health features? And people were like, oh my gosh, then it turned from a fashion accessory to a health accessory.
Yeah, now it's got function.
Well, and that was
and that's when they're figuring out, it's like, man, we can use all these for health accessories.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about the new hearing aid function is
What'd you say?
the new hearing aid function is you can actually do
Say the word function.
Slower.
You can actually do a hearing test, which is great because
You already can.
because it's
You
like
can?
yeah.
There's an app called Mimi.
Yeah.
Mimi.
But this is going to be through Apple. They're going to have it built into the iPhone where they're actually doing the hearing test with your AirPod Pros.
I would not surprise. Wouldn't surprise me if somebody told me that Apple bought Mimi, because the way the Mimi works. I've been using mine as hearing aids for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you?
Unofficially.
Yeah. I mean, it's not been made official yet, but can we announce it here on the podcast?
Yeah.
No, I mean just
Secret's
going
out.
going through the back channel, basically using Mimi, making an audiogram, putting the audiogram into your AirPods, and turning in custom transparency mode. They already are hearing aids.
Interesting.
But now that Apple's just going to say, we're just going to put all that into a function. You just click a button and there it is. So, but that market, turn myself on, that one. That market.
I was waiting to see what the next step was.
That's out of focus.
It's not the first time he's turned himself on.
Peep into his own kink.
Yeah.
The camera's out of focus.
By choice.
The Food and Drug Administration basically made over-the-counter hearing aids legal like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
Previous to that,
industry.
previous to that, hearing aids are like eyeglasses. They're all owned by one company, basically out of Denmark, and they can charge whatever the hell they want.
Racket.
That's why they cost $8,000 because it is a racket.
Yeah.
So the FDA said that you can OTC these, and so like Sony and Bose and all these other companies started manufacturing it's not a custom prescription-based thing. They couldn't call them hearing aids. They had to call them like
Hearing assistants?
something like an amplifier or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Apple finally got they got approval from the FDA to add this as
another feature.
And like
I
you
think
said,
it's brilliant.
It does two things. First of all, it opens that up to people who are, instead of spending $8,000, now they're spending $200, $300. But it's also going to destigmatize the whole hearing aid thing.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's the big impact that it makes in the industry, is that stigma. And people that, just go along and suffer because of the fear of that stigma, and now all of a sudden they don't have to. And I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like there's somebody in this building that actually COVID destroyed their hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Was it a tinnitus related or
can't hear and had to get hearing aids.
Ooh.
And it's like, this stuff happens to people that are young and hearing is important. And
What's that?
come again?
yep.
Stupid.
I'll speak. I can speak directly to it. That's my profession.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And I've got exposure related hearing loss. It's not profound, but it is
Thanks,
moderate.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
Same.
And
You've got a lot of exposure issues.
yeah.
Some of them require medication.
or daily cream.
Yeah. Some things you just can't expose.
Exactly.
You're also on the list because of exposure too. So.
But there's a whole generation of young people that are listening to music with headphones on at extreme volumes for hours at a time.
Yeah.
Well, what I find interesting is, and that they say a majority of Gen Z folks are like, they watch everything with captions on anyway.
Yeah.
And which I'm doing that now too, just because I love it. And
Yeah. I started doing it, and my wife was like, "Turn that off. I don't want to see that." And then eventually she's like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
what were you guys watching?
Everything, anything that's not. I have captions on anything that's not live because the captions that are live are always
terrible,
late.
Oh,
so
I know,
turn
I
those
know.
off. Which is kind of crazy because YouTube's algorithm can do it in real time live. I don't know why TV.
That was always
right.
my fantasy, was when we were doing political spots here.
It's a weird fantasy.
No,
but
seriously.
okay.
Really?
No.
Closed captioning. Oh.
No, hold on a second. When we were doing political spots here, we still do some. It's like, I'd like to go into that closed captioning channel and just put some bizarre shit. Because usually people are watching it at bars with the closed captioning on. So it'd be like, look at this
Practical joke.
douchebag.
Well, the problem is though, like you don't have to do it because they're saying crazy stuff now anyway.
yes,
So
yes,
it's
they
like
are. You're
your
right.
fantasy has become reality.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
No kidding.
Well, speaking of fantasies and reality,
Yeah,
we finally have a guest, right?
Yeah,
We
it's going to
do.
happen.
We
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
we did it.
Listeners,
I mean,
we've been.
it could either be our first and/or our last. So
True.
Yeah,
we'll see
not
how it goes.
exclusive
Yeah,
to each
yeah.
other. Yeah, our first guest is a sweet one. She is adorable, kind, huge heart.
She's my dealer.
She's Jamie's dealer.
I mean,
A
for
question mark?
for tag-along
For
cookies.
joy.
No, for tag-along cookies.
She's my joy dealer.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she is your dealer, isn't she?
Yeah. She just brought me a whole box of those damn things.
She is.
Cookies.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarity is.
Dude, I
important.
ate 8 of those, 8 boxes of those.
This isn't
tonight.
your confession time.
I know.
We'll
I'm
save
just
that for
saying.
Well,
later.
that's actually what this is. We actually brought Jaclyn. This is an intervention.
It is an intervention.
Thank
Nailed it.
Damn peanut butter.
But she's a lovely person. She's a friend of all of us. So
She's a freelance graphic designer. She has 3 small kids, which you would never know based on the amount of time that we suck her into our world around production.
Yeah,
She
those
would never know that she has abandoned her sweet children.
True that.
And a husband of 13 years, who we just
married 13 years. He's not 13 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is Kentucky, but
clarify.
Thank you. Yeah.
Important clarity. Yeah.
And
Weird.
And honestly,
yeah, she just got canceled on this show already.
she single-handedly saved one of our live streams, if you guys remember.
Yes, she did.
Remind me.
Yeah, because she was on
starts with a P, and remember the electricity went out,
Oh, and she was the first one to notice that.
and she had a laptop, so the
Right.
stream was going through her laptop.
That's
yes.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been through some things together.
Yeah.
So
Yada yada yada. We are delighted to welcome Miss Jaclyn Mullin. Jaclyn, we cannot thank you enough for joining us at our sausage party.
Thank you.
Appreciate it tremendously.
I mean, you definitely needed like a token female presence.
Yeah.
Well, Rick has sort of filled in that role a little bit, but
Hey.
How are you,
he's
girl?
like the prince of our group,
exactly.
Mr. Androgyny.
Dig, if you
over there.
will, this picture.
Man, that was quick on the draw.
Wow,
dude.
no
Wow, that was
doubt.
That's
impressive.
good.
Did you sign the disclosure before you came in here?
I did not.
Okay, darn.
Get out.
We'll assume we've acquired all signatures needed.
Yes.
But thank you for being here as our
Absolutely.
first guest, our first official podcast guest. So
I honestly, I was like, okay,
No
this
pressure.
is super cool. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm a safe space to make sure things are right.
You are in a safe space.
You are totally in a
Yeah.
safe space. This is everything we say here today is gonna run all of our careers, but it's fine.
No, I just mean like figuring out your process. But okay, that too.
Well, so I do have to say, one of the things we talked about in a quick intro was that a lot of folks wouldn't realize, seeing how much of your time has been sucked away by pulling you into productions, whether it's in the studio during COVID or out on the road for large productions. You've got 3 little ones.
I do. And honestly,
and a 4th little one, really, if we're counting Josh.
well, depends on the moment. Like sometimes I'm the
he's not-
4th little one.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
Physically, he's not fun size, but he is another little one, kind
Yeah.
of, right?
Yeah. Schedule management is not ever something I've wanted to be doing, but it is my life.
Remind me, how old are your kids?
So I have 11, 8, and 5 in 2 weeks.
Great
In
ages.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, the baby will be 5.
That is crazy.
I know, right?
Goes fast. I like. You were just pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't, but you were.
Wait a minute.
I'm so confused.
I mean, in my mind, I just
Yeah.
remember that it was just. I felt like it was just.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like
It
when,
really
when we all first met. I mean, I think you just had your.
Yeah.
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 He's a COVID baby.
Yeah.
I'll never forget our first Target trip
Yeah.
after COVID.
Oh, geez.
He just was in the cart looking around like, oh my gosh, what is this world? I was like, oh, we effed up.
Yeah.
We should have left that alone.
Oh, you can say the F word, by the way, on here. It's fine.
I'm not at home.
Well, so I don't remember.
What? You can only say fuck at home? I mean, what the hell?
Proud mom.
Hey, kids. Your mother fucking loves you.
Remind me, I do think that one of the first shows that we spent time together on in Vegas for one of the EDP gigs, were you still breastfeeding? Did you still have a little one at home? And so you were doing the pump and dump, or were you shipping home?
No, you can travel with it.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
but it
you
only
can.
and you
He does. Now
can.
you mentioned this. That's one of this is
Yeah.
evolving
You put it in the
into a-
thermos.
Rick and I travel together. We share the.
we didn't plan it, but this is
Yeah.
turning out to be a kink confession.
Yes.
So we're covering.
I'm trying to
this one.
stay out of it.
Yeah. Good luck.
It's like the one time I was in D.C. and I actually was there on the weekend for the Midwestern
Yes.
Leather Conference.
Yeah, accidentally.
not planned
Always
at all.
accidentally.
Not planned at all.
Grinder accidentally went down in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, remind me, so you were dealing with it. I don't remember if you were shipping it back home or just
No.
you were taking a lot of breaks.
Well,
it was a problem.
It was
No,
it was
it
a
wasn't.
problem. Well, but that
It
was
was
like
a
one of my
problem.
first shows, so I was trying not to hide the fact
Right.
that I'm a problem.
Yeah.
So they gave me a key to one of the business office rooms that was like real
And
close
that's
to the
what you
show
use.
space. So I would run in there, but then also hidden secret about Vegas, if you're a pumping mother in Vegas, they will bring you a fridge.
Oh, they will in your room.
So I was able to store enough.
Huh.
They're
mental
very,
note.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
You
that.
get
Yeah.
I'm a pumping mother in 2233.
You know, Rick.
Who's gonna question
When he
you?
was younger, he was a pumping mother.
Once again, I'm trying to stay out of it.
We told Jack this was a safe space. That is gone.
Making us liars.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Well-
know you guys way too well.
So
yeah. And that's why you're here, Jack.
That's right.
yeah.
So here's what I find. I'm just going to say this right out of the gate instead of hiding it. What's obvious in this conversation is how your species, your gender can deal with that. And if it were up to-
Species.
Your species?
if it were up to men, that would just never happen. We're not that good at multitasking, and we can't get that much shit done.
Dude, if we could milk our breasts, we would never leave the house.
Your own or your friends? I mean,
I'm just saying our own. I mean, who are you kidding, man? It'd be like, got some Cheerios in there. Wonder what this is.
Jaclyn, if the door's right behind you.
So this experiment obviously is not working.
yeah.
And this has been, you've been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't
fantastic.
sign a disclosure, but I didn't come in here knowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've been good. You've
Yeah.
been really good. So appreciate your time. I just think it's amazing, though. That's one of those things that you don't stop to account for. Like, there are people that go through stuff like that all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's the difference between what you're sending out to the world and what you're just getting taken care of behind the scenes and mothering.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, Corby was God love her. That was her first experience with me. And I was just like, hey, gotta go. I'll be back in 15.
But kudos to you, though. You did it. You were great. And I mean,
Well, and I don't remember.
And you did it too, because now you've been sucked totally into the show world, and now you
Yeah, joke's on you.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but she's still asking for these, like, I've got to, pump it. And they're like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm still a
wait,
pumping
wait,
mother.
still a
I'm
pumping
still
mother.
a pumping mother. Just now she's
yeah.
hitting the weights.
No, she's doing lines of coke. She's doing lines of coke in the bathroom.
That's a bumping mother.
Yeah, bumping
They
mother.
won't tell you no. Down that fridge.
Yeah, you guys remember in the old days, Edit Suites used to be like just tape machines.
Oh, yeah.
Clients were always in there, and it was sort of fun. And there was a client that had just had a child, and she had no problem just doing that right in the Edit Suite.
Oh yeah.
She was like, "Are you cool with it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I'm looking at the monitor.
Cool with it. I'm into it.
I'm looking at this monitor with a slight reflection in it.
But and I know you. I would name this name. You know who it is, and you would be like, "Yep, that's
That tracks.
Wasn't me.
no."
I will say, though, I used to, because of my time management, I used to have to pump while driving.
Oh
Like,
wow.
What? No.
And I would hook up and I wouldn't drive to my destination if it was like 45 minutes away. I was like, I gotta take care of this before I get there. Every time my mom would be like, I really just want you to get pulled over. Like, what's gonna happen? I was like, well, truth hurts. Like,
I was going to see that cop's face.
I
He's like, ma'am,
She's
you know,
like,
move along.
it's one way to get out of it, right? Yeah,
Were you on
point.
the interstate? Or
probably.
oh god, those truck drivers are loving that shit.
Oh no,
They
I'm
were on the
covered.
CB ready to go.
No, I'm covered.
Why won't he pass me?
My sister, man, when we were kids, she'd always try to make that truck driving signal, but she would do it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
She would do it like this.
That's something.
She'd be in the back seat, and this is like, no, that's not. It's this. It's this. Don't do
Well,
it.
Jack,
So what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a long time. I know you've been working with these knuckleheads, but
A bit.
yeah.
I haven't traveled a whole lot.
want
Got
to?
something I know. Right?
I don't want to. You can go in my stead.
I do need some more of those cookies. Those tag-alongs, man.
So good, right?
Yeah, I ate like 8 of those boxes in a row after that first debate. I was so depressed.
Oh, was that your emotional?
Well, we are happy to be your Girl Scout cookie stash
Yeah.
personnel.
We just finished 4 days of live music,
We did.
Bourbon and Beyond. And listener, if you're not familiar, we were all a little shocked, or I was anyway, to find out it is the largest now music festival in the U.S. by
No way.
attendance numbers. Yes.
Really?
As of Saturday.
Yes.
I know they had 60,000 on Saturday.
But I mean, collectively,
Maybe
so it's
Well, I
basically
mean, that day was 60,000.
Right, but I'm saying the total attendance over those 4 days gives them the new, the new moniker.
Well, it
of
certainly felt like
largest music. It certainly did. Yeah.
Well, I also heard that on Saturday it was the third largest city in Kentucky.
Oh, really? On its own, just based
Oh, I
on that
believe that.
size?
Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah.
That's not a hard thing to be.
No,
Well,
it's
it's
not.
really not.
Have you been to Katie's, Kentucky?
Yeah, or bone lick.
Big bone lick. Yeah.
Big Bone Lick.
Or monkey's eyebrow? Possum trot?
Yeah.
Turkey Neck Bend.
Buck snort. That's one for
Oh, I
sure.
haven't heard that one.
Oh, I haven't either.
Yeah.
Buck snort, Kentucky.
Well, we're not as educated on or
Huh.
uneducated as Central Kentucky can be sometimes.
But yeah, so we were, she was hanging whole time, Thursday through Sunday, like a trooper.
I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, which, by the way, I got to say, I noticed it a little Saturday, but yesterday, for sure, your tribe that just continued
I
to
have
grow
questions.
and grow.
I have questions. I
By
have
the
so
end,
many
listener, we
questions.
had a footprint of, I don't know, it was probably equal to like a 12 by, I don't know, 15 by the time we were done. It was just the tribe of yours continued to expand.
Yeah.
And God love them, even your mom and dad became
Aw,
a part, which was
that's
awesome.
sweet.
Yeah, which if mom and dad were there and all of your friends and neighbors were there, where were the kids?
Please say Josh's parents.
I will say,
They're
mom and
behind the
dad,
stage.
mom and dad definitely helped out Thursday, but my poor in-laws had 3 days in a row.
Or your fortunate in-laws. Come on.
Honestly,
All the
Man.
things
Pretty
that mom
great.
doesn't do.
But that was
Good.
that was the question that we had. Like we kept seeing, like, you know, you were there, you'd already established, you'd put down the towels and it'd be like, and then people would come and just start hugging you, and we're like, did she make these friends while she was here? Or are these people that you knew? Are you running for office because you were shaking a lot of hands? These are your
Lots of hugs.
A lot of constituents.
Well, and I will say, for folks that don't know you, a stranger's just a friend you haven't met. I mean,
Oh.
that's you roll
Yes.
like
and what
that,
what
right?
does Josh tell you that? Like,
Oh, well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please, let's
He-
lay the groundwork. This is
Josh tells me that I need to give people the space to decide if they like me back before I declare our friendship.
Gosh,
before you
Wow.
let them know that they're
That
your
we're
new best friends.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's,
love
that's
that.
something
I
you
know,
tell
right?
a dog. I mean,
He knows how to speak my language, like giving people the space to decide on their own. I'm like, okay,
Just
Fine.
give them a minute before you let them know your new best friends.
yeah.
get a little
I
piece
love
of paper. Do you like me? Yes or no?
Yes, no,
Circle
maybe.
one.
He doesn't know
Maybe.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't
Choose
like
the-
the maybe option. That's
Yeah.
too gray.
I
Yeah.
feel like you'd be okay with maybe though, because
Well,
it's
there's
not a
potential.
no. Right.
There is potential in a maybe.
Oh, this is good. Jaclyn likes a project, so
Yeah.
there's some work to do here.
No, then I would just smother that poor person. Like that conversation first
It would be a
started.
disaster, wouldn't it?
Well, I met his now friend's wife, and when we met, that is what I said, and that's how it came out, and that's how it started. But I did get invited
That's how this
to the
box
wedding.
of wine told me to say it.
Yeah, I did get invited to the wedding, so I think we're good.
Which, like, but it wasn't a bridesmaid though. But
I mean, I wasn't
take
in it, but I was there.
So you guys, both you guys are great. You know, I love your layouts, your designs. Did you guys see the new PayPal logo a few days
no.
ago?
No.
It's like, man, are people even fucking trying now? Okay. So look at this. Well, first of all, this is our videographer here.
I love it.
So that's the old PayPal logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very familiar.
Okay. Okay. You ready for it?
No,
No.
what?
Okay, that's text.
I hope it was expensive.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I mean, are people even trying these days?
I like the color.
I mean, that's it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but are you guys seeing that a lot too?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like simple and shit. And it's like, can we go
Almost,
back to?
it's almost too simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I remember when a few years ago when BMW changed their logo and went to the more flat version, and like the design word was like, "What is going on? This is getting out of hand." But yeah, it's a little flat these days.
Yeah.
The thing about PayPal is they've got a history of clients and customers, so they don't really have to worry about establishing a new brand.
Yeah,
But-
they get a history of Nazism. You know that, right? I mean, that's where Peter Thiel and
Oh.
Elon Musk started. That's
Oh.
where they met. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. But was he fired as?
Yeah. Musk
That's what it
was.
was, yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm fine with it. Whatever.
Well, honestly,
mean,
the
it's just
town-
Not the Nazism. The logo.
we
This-
Clarify.
This just in.
But I mean, but when you look at that, it's just like, a new font, nice. You just do a little kerning and you charge about
Yeah.
$90,000.
What was funny is, and just to show how big of design nerds that Jaclyn and I are, during the concert,
Oh, for the love of God.
Tedeschi Trucks band was up, and I'd had a couple of cocktails, so I was just having some funsies. But I could not
Funsies.
not see the fact that the band name Tedeschi, there was the kerning was all off and on the letters, and I just focused on that the entire show.
Dude, you
And I-
can't unsee it.
No, and then I, as being the friend that I am, I told everyone around me so that they also
Son
could
of
not
a
unsee it.
I'm
They lost
enjoying.
all joy in the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I'm enjoying the shit out of Tedeschi Trucks, and for anybody that's familiar with it, I mean, it speaks for itself. Their body of work, just
And I don't know them, so I was like, I don't really know the song.
So
I'm
this
just gonna look at
one's-
this logo.
this
45 minutes.
this one's behind me, obsessed over that, and then just gives me a little tap on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, check out the space between the TE and then the
Oh,
E."
dude, that shit drives me crazy.
And for the rest of the show,
Yeah.
because it was
big.
stuff
You could probably drive a truck through it, couldn't you?
on one side.
One side, but not between the T and the E.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like
I told him, and I
Yeah.
said, what would really make my heart happy is in the middle of a show if you just saw somebody just sit up.
moving it in.
Boom,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
bing, bing.
And then yesterday we had a weather system come in, and then they had that little
The
side.
advisory.
That's not a band name. They actually had a weather system.
There
Yeah.
was- yeah.
right.
and Jaclyn, they had to have this verbiage up that says there's weather coming in, blah blah blah. And Jaclyn turns and goes, "I just want want to let you know that text is not centered.
And she was probably like laying on the ground.
It's like she's like, neither is the horizon.
Tilting my head was not going to fix that problem.
But tilting this drink will.
It sure did.
No, Jaclyn, you're tilted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, so what for you? What was the highlight of the 4 days? Is there one that stands out, or a couple?
I went in expecting high things from the National, and they delivered. But I think some surprises were, I mean, I knew Fleet Fox's music, but to hear them live was magic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That immediately got added to my playlist.
Oh, for
That was a
sure.
new one for me.
And then, I mean, Matchbox 20, time has not
Yeah.
aged that band at all.
And actually, I think it's done well for them.
Yeah.
Because Rob Thomas, he was up there having fun. Looked like he didn't even care. It's like, I'm just going to sing like I want to sing.
I thought they were Matchbox 50 now, but
Well,
No, they're sticking with 20.
they're still 20.
They're Matchbox 50 plus.
exactly.
They're doing a parenthetical times
Yeah.
3.
yeah.
And their cover, speaking of, what was the cover they ended
Was it
up
Crowded
doing?
House?
I don't know. I'm sure
No,
it's on my
don't you
phone.
forget about me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was just a beautiful cover,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
A beautiful
Yeah,
cover.
they were a great surprise.
Yeah.
That was pleasant.
Strong.
Yeah.
And I did catch it, didn't go unnoticed that he referenced, I forget which song it was, but he led in with, and for all of you out there, this might be one of your favorites of your mom's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 3 a.m. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
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 And he wasn't wrong.
No.
The moms were dancing hard.
Moms were dancing.
Yeah. What else
Yes, we were.
what else caught your attention?
I mean, I follow a lot of those bands already, so
Yeah, you were popping
was-
around at different stages quite a bit.
yeah, I'm a
Good for you.
wanderer. I will say War and Treaty, like I knew some of their stuff, but them live
Yeah.
I didn't
was
catch that.
amazing. Yeah.
Didn't catch them.
No, that was a beautiful moment too.
And Matthew and actually were talking about because the podcast is on Spotify, that maybe we should put together a playlist of all the songs and stuff that we like and then share it on the website. So we may do that.
Oh, yeah.
So contribute like songs that we like and all this stuff.
I love a playlist.
Right?
I love a playlist.
You do love a
I
playlist, don't you?
But the cool thing about going to this show and that kind of crosses over with what we do is that sometimes we get to have musicians or bands perform at all these events that we do. So that's kind of one cool thing of how we get to touch that music world a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of time you'll have a corporate sponsor
Yeah.
so that, final night or something. We've been very fortunate
Yeah,
to
do some cool stuff.
have some really good acts come in, and you get to spend a little time with them on the production
Yeah, or even
side.
do something design-wise, like we did, Train several years ago in Hawaii, and they walked in, didn't realize we had that big of a screen, so like, well, I guess I'll make a bunch of graphics for
Yeah, we had a
Train.
big sheet
Nice.
behind them back in the day when that was still a emerging new technology for widescreen blends. And I remember being there in Maui in the ballroom, and Jason just took an hour and was like, started pulling down some graphics and whipped something up, and it's like, oh. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool, man.
Right, rather than just having it's just Train on a little postage stamp sitting behind them. So you think, we're Train, we got some we could actually have some good stuff, but no, they walked in with nothing. So, but that's cool though. So,
It
and then
is.
every now and then, even it crosses over even more so that like you never know who you're going to find that's actually doing something musically. And you kind of did this with one of our clients.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Or
gosh.
a
Yes.
kind of not our
Oh,
client,
yeah.
but a client of ours, a
forgot
good friend,
about that.
Erin Donbaugh. She a good friend of all of ours.
Shout out EDP.
So I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this.
Well-
set this up for us.
It's kind of funny. But yeah.
Well, then definitely take your time.
Well, it's like the aftermath was kind of funny. So Aaron was like, so I've got this client and he has a band and this is the name and they need a logo, but I'm just gonna I'm not gonna charge him. So she said, you pay me. This is gonna be my gift. And I was like, okay.
And this is what's cool about being a designer. It's like you get approached to do crazy stuff like
Right.
this all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you could design a wedding invitation or a band logo
Or a band logo.
or a gigantic corporate event. So it runs the gamut. Sorry to interrupt, but anyway, go ahead.
Somewhere in between. But yeah, so I did. And it's a couple of years later, I think they're thinking about actually doing some tours, and it's going to be more of like an information or educational, I guess, also kind of band situation. And it's like, ooh, okay, so now I need you to sign a waiver. Like this is the property of the band now.
To make sure you were okay giving
away my property, which is kind of a weird line, right? Like you create something for somebody else. You received payment for that thing at one point.
Yeah.
Like who does it belong to?
Did you sign it?
Yeah, of course I did.
You're so good.
Well,
what do you think?
I wasn't gonna kind of try to squeeze them. They're just trying to educate the people.
My lawyer says I want 6% of all merch.
They do. They pop up on meetings, and he does show me where he puts a sticker on all of these things, and I'm like, just sitting here waiting for mine.
What sticker?
Of the logo.
Really?
He had stickers made. And he
wow.
puts them everywhere.
Tell everybody the name of the band.
The name of the band is One of the Guys.
One of the guys.
But it's because, I don't know if we should say his full name, but his last name is Guy.
Last name is Guy.
Spelled Ghai.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just became like, oh, that's a play on words. And so it was just One of the Guys. So
Guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was like, when did you initially do this? When was
and
the
was this
artwork
before
created?
pumping or after?
Honestly.
I knew
I know.
Dumping and designing.
I knew it was going to stick with him for the rest of this show. I knew it.
It might leak into next. Get it?
I think it's very clear. All he's been doing is sitting here thinking about, pumping.
Good night. Get it.
Right in there.
How could non sequiturs in the
Seriously, what were those truckers thinking?
I know, man. I know what they were thinking. I worked at a truck stop.
Yeah, what year do you think this was? How long ago was it that you...
I feel like it was during COVID, like
like
towards
20
the
No
end.
shit.
Yeah.
You've been working on this logo that long?
No, that's what
Okay. Okay, I was going to say, I would kill myself.
She's good.
It's
Not
like-
very efficient with
It's
time.
like 6 years later, they're like, just turn the L over a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And wait.
We're pretty desperate trucks. You're okay.
Yeah. Like, shit.
I mean, was it like this sticker?
That's the. How did you all get them?
Isn't that weird?
Isn't that bizarre?
So Jaclyn,
Let me...
Oh, boy.
So this plane is landing.
finally.
Oh, boy. I hope it lands.
This was Aaron's April Fool's 2022.
What?
And this plane is just now
landed.
landing.
So
It's
April.
not
Are you-
real.
Wait, what about the email?
She wrote it.
the press
Are
release.
you kidding me?
She wrote the press release.
Oh, you guys.
But let me say-
You've been thinking about me this long?
And let me just tell you right now, let me just say this right now. What you just said proves everything we've said about you and your beautiful heart, because Aaron has been freaking out of like, oh my God, it's every time we've thought about landing this plane, something's happened and we haven't.
Yeah.
And now she's gotten to the point, even the gentleman whose name is a part of this band is like,
I can't live the
please,
lie anymore.
you've got to end it. Please, you've got to end this.
Stop it.
So when we told Erin that you were our first guest, she said, "Oh, for the love of God,
Make it
land
end.
this
Make it
plane."
end. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But I love other people could have easily been like, "You sons," and you're like, "You all have been thinking about that long." Wow. Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah,
once
so-
again,
April Fools.
hilarious. Hilarious. Honestly.
Can I see it?
it's awesome. And I've had this thing in my
Nice.
office just like him, and it's like, do I put it on one of my water bottles and bring it? I don't know. Are we
I mean,
supposed to know about
it went so far, Jaclyn, that the last time that we had the client in a room,
Yeah.
that we had an agreement. We're gonna this is the day. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna reveal it all. I even found pictures of him and put him AI'd him into a band.
Yeah. No,
Put
there
his
was a lot of
logo
work.
on
Yeah.
drum sets, everything.
Oh my gosh. Did you get paid for that work too?
No.
See? I think I'm
much
still
you
coming
have.
out on top.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you haven't walked out yet, it says a lot about you. So
Well, no.
Well, again, the initial reaction, have you been thinking about me that
Oh,
much?
it's great.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And then what was really funny is that after she sent out the quote unquote press release.
Yeah.
Is that she called me because something I can't remember. You had said something to her on a phone call around the same time. So she calls me almost mad, like, "Did you tell her?" I'm like, "No."
She thought they blew it.
Well, and funny enough, look back on the show we were at in May prior to that gig with Aaron was in L.A., and we were eating dinner, and several people at the table, Margot, who was in on it, knew about it, accidentally slipped in. It was like, "Oh, yeah, like blah, blah, blah," saying, "Oh, and him and in the band that he's in," like, what? No, yeah, remember he left. And, like, we covered our tracks because it was slipping out.
Yeah.
People were getting a little lazy thinking, "Oh, you haven't told her yet?"
Well, and honestly, the fact that they're remembering.
Do you know what you should do now? Is like you should really just come up with this elaborate storyboard for a music video.
That'll never get shot.
Yeah, and just make it so bizarre, but be sweet like you are about it. But man, I mean, just make it so bizarre, and just forward it along to both. It's like, I've really been thinking. I went to Bourbon Beyond this weekend. I had some great ideas about a performance and a music video. And
well, see, that's what she thought too. She thought because these two were on a show together, and then you responded somehow. Like there was
she thought I spilled the beans.
Yeah, and then now you were two now conspiring against Aaron as I flipped the script.
She started getting paranoid.
It.
That she thought.
Was it too late for that?
Well, not now.
It's all recorded now. So.
When's this going out?
2 weeks. So you got time.
Make your best
small
play.
window. You have a small window.
Well, so now that I'm thinking about it, you even emailed me, Jason, at one point. And you were like, "Did you read all the way to the end of the press release?" And I was like, "No, I got busy." I didn't even it did not hit.
The more you read it, the more ridiculous it got.
I didn't.
It's like she'll never buy this.
The reason she didn't finish reading is because she's like, "What do I care? I already gave away the rights to the merch."
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure did.
Yeah,
sure did.
She's not reading all that press release. She gave away merch rights.
See, next year for the show, you guys got to get T-shirts made. You got to get.
Oh, we're doing all the things. Well, I mean, now that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, give me my sticker back.
Yeah, I want that back. Yeah,
we're going to put it back on stuff. Okay, just going to add that to my fake resume.
The work is real.
The work is real.
Yeah.
Well, everything on the fake resume is real, but I've always wanted to make a resume.
Did you just say everything on the fake resume is real? Wow. Holy shit.
But it's like not the one that you
one
give.
of those that if I think it, I make it happen.
No, but it's like with the resume that you make side by side with like the one that you would give potential clients or job interviews, and then the one that it's like, okay, well, Jason can now move a camera.
Well,
and
and
I made a band logo for a not real band.
Speaking of resumes, come back around. Tell me, you had hinted at this in your info you provide in advance. Tell me about the resume filler. What got you with the design department? Because that sounds like that was a pretty good tactic.
Well, it worked.
Yeah,
right?
what did you come out with? Was it special skills or something? And how'd you fill that out?
When you go into the graphic design program at U of L, a few years ago, we'll say, there was this process. I don't know if it's still this way. Jason, you probably would know better than I would, but there's a process you had to basically interview to get into the intro course.
Yes.
And then once you were in the program, you're in forever.
Yeah.
Well, the whole interview process, when you're 19,
oh God, yeah,
you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when you're 48, you still don't know what you're doing.
I wasn't going to say that out loud, but
you just care a lot less.
you get a little bit more honest. But no, so I go into this interview and I'm like, I've got some high school portfolio things and I'm describing my process. That's what I'm thinking they want me to do. And they basically just looked at me and said, "Why do you think we should let you in this program?" I said, "Well, it's because I have a wonderful personality." like that has
they didn't
anything
realize
to do.
you all were already new best friends.
They were unaware, but they didn't say no.
Right? That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
it works.
So it's a lesson
I don't
to
know.
kids. Don't be afraid to put down your your personality traits with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
So,
and again, it's well known in the acting world. That's the same thing. So it's like, how do you stand out from the crowd? If somebody's doing a cattle call and you're seeing, hundreds of people a day, it's not necessarily always the best read that's going to get it. What's going to have you step out isolated from the crowd and stand out.
Yeah,
Right.
And sometimes it's unquantifiable.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were
I mean,
talking
it's
like,
really like it can't be proven that I have a wonderful personality. They just went on blind trust.
Yeah.
I would love to have been in some of Joaquin Phoenix's like reads.
Think those would have been interesting.
You know they were.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't love his entire body of work.
I don't either. But the whole thing when he was a rapper and shit. I mean, he really
That was not real.
I know he had me going.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like.
But I mean, that's like an Andy Kaufman.
Oh, I know.
level
I mean,
of-
that Saturday Night Live. Excuse me, that David Letterman.
Yes.
He was on there. I was like,
Yes.
what has happened?
Yeah.
it was so
It was
uncomfortable
brilliant.
for everyone.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought.
But that is exactly how this all felt. Like this was an effort to keep
Yeah.
this a secret for 2 years.
So much
God.
work.
Honestly, did
So
you
much
start the
work.
podcast just so that you could
Yep, and now we're
watch
done.
it?
It's been great, guys. Yeah.
You know what the weird thing is? All those shows that you've been doing,
Yeah.
they're fake.
But the money is real.
Because my mortgage company's accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't real companies.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to the name.
Have you seen those companies?
Don't make me question more things about my life that I already do.
Yeah. You're driving home like, what else is not real?
You're gonna get home and like Josh is punked. He's like, "Yeah, we never married. He's only your kid."
What's the HBO
Exactly.
show? What was it during towards the end of COVID that blew up? The guy with the whole fake. What is it? I'm drawing a
I
blank
keep saying
here.
resume, but that's not it. It's not proposal. The rehearsal.
The rehearsal was. What's the
yeah.
guy's name that is so good? And those
Nathan.
Yes. That's what it reminds
yeah,
me of.
yeah.
It's like we've all created this, fake world for
Yes.
Jaclyn to stroke like the Truman Show.
Yeah, oh my God, no doubt.
You could have done more. Okay.
Understood.
Nathan Fielder.
Nathan Phil.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
I'm glad
That's
we-
still sinking.
We left you wanting more. Because it could have turned a completely
Honestly,
different route.
so many people in on that.
Yes, so many people.
So many. It really required a lot of effort, and that was the other thing. At some point, it started. Oh, is that still in play? We haven't landed that plane yet. I mean, that became the reoccurring theme of no, not yet.
Yeah.
It's,
And
it's a long flight.
because
He actually called me yesterday just to say this is the deal because I didn't even know. And he was like, "This is the deal. You got to keep a straight face. You got to." Yeah.
And full disclosure, we didn't tell Boone because we didn't think he could keep a secret.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
I know.
He set it up. So.
And he's already fallen asleep.
I'm sorry, I'm not listening. What are you guys talking about?
recap. But thank you for being a great sport.
That's pretty awesome. I now I'm trying to think of.
Oh yeah, you're questioning everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm not questioning any. Well, maybe I should. But
No, you definitely should. You definitely
but I'm like, how do I personalize the? Oh, I know now.
Oh yeah. You need to have a moment.
Yeah.
With Mr. Guy.
Oh, you should start by saying, "Sorry, I heard the band thing didn't work out."
Oh yeah.
That's what you should do.
That's
But
the
hey,
way.
you
design
can
a
fall back
card.
because I've really enjoyed your presentations on stage. It seems like that was working for you.
Yeah, that's
so.
that may be where you should
Yeah, maybe
stay in your safe
maybe you
space.
should-
Focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe design a card and mail it to him that just has that. sorry, you've left your band. Or,
Yeah.
Thinking
You're
of
no
you.
longer one of the guys.
yeah, you're no longer one of the guys.
Thinking of you. Best wishes.
They're telling you got him a gig on. Tell him you got him a gig on like Jimmy Fallon or something. And now he's got to go put a band together and make him go like through a year-long process.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
Just so
I got you
happens,
booked
guess
in
who
a
I met?
Bourbon and Beyond 2025.
I know some people.
Yeah,
I'll
so
show
make
you to
him
fuck
do
with
all
me.
that, like a year's worth of work for
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely no
Yeah.
reason.
Now I've got to learn how to play the guitar.
Yeah,
Aaron, it's gone too far.
The clock starts today.
Here's some lyrics we wrote for you.
Yeah, and Diddy wants to get involved.
Oh,
Yikes.
my God. The news on that.
Oh,
I mean, how much lube did they find? I mean, like,
what?
You guys go straight to the loo.
no, I mean, they're talking like thousands of gallons of lube at these parties. And I'm like, what the hell?
I mean,
It was a very slippery party.
yeah.
It's just, I don't know what it is, man. It's like, I guess when you just get a lot of money, you just do
Oh, you think
stupid
you're
shit.
untouchable? Yeah.
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 And there was a lot of touching.
Oh, there was a lot of
Oh,
touching.
yikes.
A lot of touching.
Yikes.
Yeah,
People
we've-
needed IV drips after these parties.
Yeah.
Because they were so like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Depleted.
Nah,
of
you don't
all
need an
bodily
IV.
I know.
fluids. Yeah, Rick will tell you old school.
Yeah.
I know. Amateurs.
You don't
right?
need an IV drip. Get back on that horse.
Drink this cooler.
I think it was a horse.
I was going to say at Diddy's there probably was.
There was a horse.
I guarantee it.
Oh.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, we've not even scratched the surface on.
Yeah, I saw some
that
pictures.
stuff hitting the news.
Saw some pictures today when Leonardo was there.
Oh, yeah.
At one of his white parties.
Yeah.
Where they're all wearing white.
In the Hamptons or whatever.
And it's like, and they're all sitting on the couch, like, and apparently it's just like, yeah, whatever goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of.
thought the white party guy was a different person.
Well, it may be, but Diddy had his own.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 But
There's some irony there, but I'm not going to say it.
She's probably smart.
Yeah, they're gonna be orange parties because of the prison jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting ready to get their freak off on in cell block
Oh
D.
boy.
Rick Bennett and I used to have aluminum foil parties. Those were fun.
Is that like Twister? Or?
No.
You like to chew on it. It makes your teeth hurt.
And some orange juice?
Yeah.
Just like Mom used to make.
Well, I'm gonna go back to this whole practical joke thing. So the reason it's spawned is because Aaron loves practical jokes,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we all kind of do. But I wanted to bring up the other practical joke that also carried on for a long time.
Well, I was gonna say this one.
And I screwed,
this
and
a
I-
new record?
And I screwed that
Yeah.
one up.
no,
was
I
it
didn't.
you?
Is that the cricket?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cricket, yeah.
Well, see, it started with Rick Boone.
Oh, yeah. He put that thing in here.
It started here, and the first thing it would do,
So, listener, it's a small chip, but a little larger than a fingernail size, and it's got a couple of settings, but it's omnidirectional, right?
That's
So
correct.
you can't tell where it's coming from, and you can choose between a chirping random sound of a cricket, or there's a beep that's audible, and then a high pitch that is only audible if you're like 30 or under.
oh, and it was great to fuck with my daughter on that. I hid that in her closet.
Because it doesn't bother you.
Not at all.
Can't hear it.
And she's like, "What's this noise?" And it's like, "What noise?" And really, and I really couldn't hear it. And
By
I
the
was
way,
like,
listener, it's available on Amazon.
exactly.
We'll put the link on the website.
Yeah, we'll put the link in because there's so much joy to be had.
I
with
think
you and
I
your
think
loved
she's still going
ones.
through therapy with that because she was going to my wife, going, "Do you hear that noise?" And my Wendy's like, "I don't hear anything. Are you okay?" I mean,
Did Wendy know?
no, because I'm just like,
Yeah, so we, in a similar fashion, deployed that with our good friend John Tyree, known amongst friends as JT, a brilliant, generous, loving tech director, friend of ours. And yeah, that was another. That plane ride, I would say, maybe circumnavigated around the globe once. Yours was like nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, multiple
Got
trips
exhausting
around.
for
Yeah.
several.
But the beauty was there. Yeah, we started that one a couple of years ago in a January, and it tracked through that whole year and came
and
back
it
around.
traveled with them.
"Oh my god!"
Yes.
It was such a joy to show up on site on that one
Yeah,
show,
because-
and walking in and hear a cricket. I'm like, I love it.
And it was nice because it got deployed by a few folks. So
Yeah.
there was no way to attach it to, it's only on these people's show or this show or location. And we knew it was getting bad when I was on a gig in Dallas and we had deployed it under his desk. And I was working in another room that was shooting some interviews down from the main room. And I came in one afternoon for a meal, and all the engineers were backstage, and some of them on their laptops, and everybody was Googling, Microsoft, Apple, email
It's Clippy, goddammit. Clippy has finally done it.
Came back.
They were convinced, someone had convinced him that it was an issue that Microsoft had on Mac machines with notifications. And it was like, I finally had to pull Abe, our good friend Abe Hermosillo.
Had name dropping on this episode.
There is. Implicating everyone. You're all going down.
No one is safe.
No. I'm like Epstein's list.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Too soon?
Yeah, this episode's been canceled.
But yeah, so it got to the point where I had to pull him aside. I was like, look, there's no issue with Microsoft and Mac. It's this little thing. It's when you get a chance, it's duct taped underneath.
It's up my butt right now.
But you can't tell where it's coming from. So then more and more people got in on it. And again, loose lips sink ships.
Yeah.
So we had to keep the circle tight. But there was a big village of loved ones around you that were all holding that card close to their vest. So.
Yeah. So
I like how you all show your love.
Oh, I mean,
It's our love language.
So
We-
funny.
now we can all relax.
You're gonna get second jobs now.
So much energy and time put into this. No,
it's a small thing.
It's false freedom. Yes.
false freedom. Yeah, but I think we're getting close to time. What do you have? Do you have?
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is great.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We did it. We had.
I was like I said, I was thinking like it's because I'm here and I'm close and I can just pop in, but now I know.
You may be a recurring character.
I think so.
I'm here for it. I'm
think
here
so.
for it.
I feel like you're natural.
I think you're part of the.
This was way better than volleyball practice.
Not
Not that I
better than enjoying my kids' extracurricular activities.
Well, I'm not even allowed to stay and watch. Like it's just a drop off situation. This is way better.
Yeah. My parents dropped me off here too, so they're picking me up soon.
That's what you think.
What?
It's like the old days when it's like the place is shutting down, lights are. I'm like, Jason, you can just step out here a little bit. You sure you got somebody come pick you up, buddy?
Out there in the curb just kicking a rock.
Okay, well, you be good.
Don't have to go home.
But you can't stay.
That's when the assistant drama teacher would be like, "Hey, you want to ride home?" And you're like, "No, I'm fine.
in my
I
windowless
am
van."
waiting. I'm waiting for mom. I'm waiting."
And I don't like Jolly Ranchers.
Exactly.
Or wood panel basements.
Yeah. Wood panel basements. Is that a band name?
That's how it all happens.
Is that a band name?
It's a big bowl of candy and a wood panel basement.
Yeah. Also another fake. Go ahead and design the logo for that one too.
Yeah, if you would, please.
Well, I was actually just thinking back towards our 4-day music adventure.
Yeah.
When that somebody was covering a song, and I was not without beverages.
Right.
So
Place.
So I remember I was like, "Is this Steppenwolf?" And you were like,
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
And you just went,
Yeah.
and then you point to your nose. You're like, I got you, friend.
I gotcha. Yeah. But then I was like, wait, that could be a band name. Is this
Is
Steppenwolf?
And the answer every time is no. Because the band could be really horrible. It's like they would be true every time. That is definitely not Steppenwolf.
I love it. Is this Steppenwolf? No.
Gotcha. But band name.
Yeah. Our list grows. So
Yes.
Thank you for contributing to that.
Anytime.
And thank you for being on this.
Yeah. No.
It was
Yeah, and
great.
for the
This
last
was
4
fun.
days prior to this, we had a lot of fun.
We did.
I mean, that's like, you
Yeah,
know,
now you're sick of us. So.
memories.
Just like, I gotta get out of here.
All those photos that you'll see pop up in, a year later, 5 years, 10 years, that's now part of the memory bank.
Yes, it is. I like it.
Yeah.
I know. I like all my worlds are colliding. Like
Right?
my footprint.
As it should. As it should. Not in a
I like it.
Costanza way, but in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the photos may prevent you from running for office. So.
Yeah,
Well,
no, for sure. If
I
you
don't want to
have
be.
them-
No.
Only in the
Look,
United
I don't want
States.
to be.
I don't-
I hear Uruguay's got some potential.
I don't think those photos have. No, I think it was that job in Dallas that we all worked on.
Yeah.
I was on that job in Dallas. What photos are you talking about?
It was in Ryan's
Wouldn't
room.
you
that night.
like
And you
to
were photoshopping
know?
us. Remember, you made him like a pirate. And
All right. Well, Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys
Thanks for having me.
making another.
Yeah, it
episode
was
happen.
nice. Let's. We're gonna try not to take so long between episodes. We purposefully delayed number 3, knowing number 4 was gonna have a bigger gap. So we'll try to be better about that.
Very soon. It'll drop soon. So
Yeah.
Well, I
Jaclyn-
can't imagine why this room wouldn't be able to get together on a regular basis.
Right.
It's because we hate each other.
Well, we hate it.
This is a forced cohabitation at this point.
Yeah. As soon as you leave, we go into fisticuff mode.
Yeah.
Always fight it out. As soon as, Yep.
Can't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Yep. Well,
Feels
that's really
right.
the reason we wait weeks is for the bruises to subside, so they don't show up in the next.
We just don't hit each other in the face.
Right.
Yeah, we still have to be on camera.
Yeah.
We made the mistake of going to video too soon.
Not the face. Not the face.
Piss on it. I'm working for Mel Brooks.
All right, until the next one, guys.
Yes.
Jaclyn, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
so
guys.
much. So much fun.
All right,
Yes,
goodbye.
it is.
Love you.
Goodbye.
Love you. Bye-bye. Bye.